Hello and welcome back to my series, Dead On, where you guys get to hear some of the stories of different encounters that I have had as a medium and not as a tarot reader. I know some of you follow me because I'm a tarot reader, and that's only a vehicle I used to kind of get out there in front of people so you could, get to know me and what I do. But the biggest part of my practice is missing persons work, criminal profiling, cold case work, and my mediumship, talking to the dead. Well, so the topic that I'm going to speak on today could be a tough one for me, and I'm going to try and hold it together. And this is a personal account of my son Daniel and his death. Today is April 30th as I record this. Daniel passed on April the 3rd. That 3 number in that month is very significant. My dad passed. In 1999 he passed. Today's my dad's anniversary. And anyway, I want to talk about Daniel. Daniel was born profoundly handicapped. He had a lot of challenges. He was never able to walk or talk. He could get a few words out if everything was just right for him. He had to be spoon-fed and diapered, and he had to be cared for all his life. We were told that he wouldn't survive the early years, but we made it 23 years. And one morning I woke up and we had found he had passed. Well, like any mother would be, I was grief-stricken. You've got to understand that it's a little different with a handicapped child, because every day you get up, you join forces with that child, and you fight to win whatever the battles are for that day. So it's constant work and fighting the good fight. Wham. The funeral was difficult, to say the least. But on the 3rd day, now, let me tell you, Jesus is not the only one that can arise on the 3rd day. He said, whatever I can do, so can you, and more. But on the 3rd day, actually it was the night, I was sound asleep. I happened to be facing my fiance, sleeping, and I felt the bed jiggle enough that it woke me up. And I'm not sleeping well, mind you, anyway, because my son died. But I reached over and no, he's still there. And the fiance, he's still there. He didn't move. And I could feel somebody physically spooning me from behind. I always crawled in Daniel's hospital bed with him and cuddled him the same way. Get him tight, and I would just spoon him and sleep there a little bit with him. And when I felt that, I knew who it was. I held still. I could only feel it for 3, 4, maybe 5 seconds. And it's the middle of the night. I'm not sure. And then I noticed it just disappeared. The feeling of the Daniel behind me just disappeared. I could see an orb, a beautiful blue glowing orb, just around the room, and it was gone. It diminished. Wow, if that wasn't enough, right? I tell people that some of these signs and signals to look for. So the very next day, I'm standing, and Daniel died on Good Friday. Those of you in the Catholic faith, somehow we feel like it's an honor if they get to go on the same day as our Lord. And there's a lot of similarities to my Daniel and Jesus. As a matter of fact, the Holy Mother Mary, that's why she's over here in this picture, is one of my personal spirit guides. She told me one time that my son lived a torturous life like her son. That people didn't understand either of them. That they weren't going to be here very long. But that's a whole nother story. So it is the next day, or excuse me, it is now, Sunday morning. Easter Sunday. And we're kind of piled around. I can't remember if that was calling hours that day. The mother's wounded, scattered mind. But we were standing in the hallway near the bathroom, and the smoke alarm went off. Beep, 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 and it quit. And doing the kind of work I do in paranormal, I felt immediately, Daniel, is that you? And my fiance was there, and he grabbed me and hugged me and pulled me up tight because he knew I was shaking. I said, Daniel, if that's you, do it again. Chirp, chirp, chirp. 3 chirps again. Not that one chirp every minute for low battery. Not that long shrill chirp for fire. 3 chirps. I got on Facebook right away and I asked, does anybody know Morse code? What does 3 mean? What's the 3 beeps mean? And I had somebody from the military get back to me. And they said, Tina, in the military, 3 bells means all's well. That was my son's sign to let me know he was okay. A lot of people don't notice those things when they happen because the moment you don't connect the dots, but it happens to be the field that I work in, so I knew exactly what it was. I want you to know that your loved ones are always reaching out and doing little things. There is no such thing as a coincidence. If you're thinking of Aunt Rosie and a cardinal comes down in front of you, know that's who it was. If you're thinking of Grandpa and you see a sign that relates to him, like a railroad lantern or a toolbox or whatever would have been associated with your grandpa, if you see that shortly after your thoughts, that's them. They're letting you know they're with you. They're letting you know, look, I'm okay. Now, my little stepdaughter was only about 5 at the time. And we had to break the news to her because she was Daniel's constant companion. She would climb up on his lap in the wheelchair and just hang out with him, and she'd crawl in bed and watch cartoons with him. And we sat her down and tell her what had happened. And in a 5-year-old's mind, I'm not sure how much they understand death. We said, honey, Daniel died. And you could see her face just twisting up, getting ready to do that ugly cry, because that's where I was anyway, trying to talk to the child. And I tried to pull it together so she didn't feel my pain also. I said, honey, Daniel's gone. He died. And she twisted up, getting ready to cry, and she stopped and she looked at me and she said, he can run now. He can walk. She said, I think he's okay. And she was right. And that is the message that I give you guys constantly. I try to let you know that your loved ones are with you. They're all right. And even your loved ones that have left in a tragic fashion, whether it be by their own hand or by accident, they are still with you. They love you and they're with you. All right, you guys, I tried to keep it together as best I could. That's a tough story to relay, but there were a couple supernatural things that took place with Daniel's death that I could relay in one message. And I will be relaying other things for you, other super messages to let you know that your loved ones are always with you. And you know, guys that follow me know, I never leave you, that I don't bless you with love and light. See you soon.